Hey guys, it's at the SU Fly Fishing. I'm going to try and get this with my phone camera. Last time I tried it with my GoPro, it kind of like went in and out. So we're going to try this with the phone camera, see if it hones in a little bit better. Tap on here to make sure it focuses on that. Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to tie probably my favorite tailwater fly. Favorite. It seems to work in any water I go to that is tailwater, and even a lot of my freestone streams I got around here. I'm sure it'll work in some spring creeks as well. It's just a really good warm weather. It's just a really good warm weather fly, okay? So what we got here is a size 16 wide gap jig hook. And on this, I have an oversized bead. It's a 3.8 tungsten slotted gold bead, okay? So I like to do a pretty heavy bead for tailwaters. The current's usually a lot faster. And I want to be able to get down into that feeding area, into that, just put it in front of a fish's face. Sometimes when the fish are feeding very aggressively, they'll go up and down in the water column, but sometimes they sit right where they're going to sit and they won't go up and down. You just want to put it in front of the face and hopefully they'll mouth it, because for those who don't know, trout mouth almost everything that goes by them. They put it in, they see what it is. And so with this particular nymph, it's a Euro nymph, and a lot of times you're not fishing for a fill, you're fishing for a stop in your line, a little hesitation, or the line drops a little bit. So we just want to get this to past the fish's face. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with some size 6.0 fire orange. I want to say this is denier, uni. So we're going to start with some 6.0 fire orange thread, uni thread, and we are going to first set this bead up the way that we want. Okay, a lot of times, if you set it up weird, it probably won't make a difference, but for me, it's an aesthetic thing and a confidence thing. So, and you'll find yourself when you start tying more that you will do particular things because it's just a confidence thing. So I'm going to build a little dam. I want it sitting up on the eye of the jig hook, and then we're going to come back down. Okay, we're going to go down right to where the hook starts to bend. All right, snap that off. The next thing we're going to do is going to get some saddle hackle. Okay, some red, and we're going to take about 6, 7. Just grab off a bunch. You want more than a couple, but you don't want as many as a bunch. Like this is probably like 7, 8 little like feather or a little. This is like 7 or 8 little pieces, but you're gonna tie it down. I usually like to tie it when I start tying it. I get one loose wrap and then I like to tie back. And that way when I tie back, I can go ahead and then snip forward. And if it goes around and stuff, but the other pieces do, it's not a big deal, because what you're going to do is you're going to tie up, you're going to straighten it up, and then when you get to where your line was previously stopped, you're going to go underneath, okay, to tighten it up and put a little bend in it, okay, and then you're going to come back over. All right, so once you have this secure, you go ahead and take off the excess you got up here, okay. Now, once you have the excess cut off, all right, you're going to start using more materials, okay? This fly, I think, has about 6, 7 materials. The first thing you're wanting to do is you're wanting to take some tippet, 6, 6.5X. I like to use 7. It doesn't really matter, honestly, as long as it's not huge. But you want to take some pretty light tippet, okay? And you want to tie it to the shank. Well, not this. And you want to tie it to your hook, okay? So once you get it here, okay, I go back down. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take some tinsel. Now, this is some pearl tinsel by Sulky. It is probably the best tinsel I found for this. I also was like watching some videos and I was trying to get some ideas because I was going through a lot of tinsel, and Fly Fish Food, Lance Egan said, hey, try this out. And I did. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this works. So I I'm going to go ahead and grab me a bit. You don't need a lot because this is a size 16 hook. You're not using, a ton of this. I would say maybe 3 or 4 inches will be fine. You can go a little more. Honestly, more is better than less when you do this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap it and secure it to the body. Now, once we secure this to the body, okay, we are going to get some dubbing. Now, this dubbing, all right, is Ice Dub Peacock, okay? Now, we're going to want this to taper a little. We don't need it to be super skinny and then super fat, okay? We want it to be a gradual taper. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and start making a noodle. This stuff is pretty easy to get on here. Just make sure you're doing it tight. If you want to put some water on it, that helps too. But you're going to start off and you're going to go from the back, okay? And you're going to make your way up. If you have some little light, you can go over just a little bit, okay? Now, what's going to end up happening is you're probably going to end up with a little bit at the front. That's fine, okay? That's fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to use 2 things to secure this dubbing. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over, okay, with some tippet, that tippet that you got, and we're just going to wrap it around. All right, and all we're doing is securing the dubbing so it doesn't do anything crazy, okay? So it doesn't like decide to split off too early. Now, if you notice, I wrapped my tippet this way. We're going to wrap the tinsel this way, okay? Just to get it more secure, okay? A counter wrap.
Okay.
And every time that you take the tippet and you take the tinsel, all right, and you wrap it, you get to the front, I always wrap a couple times behind and then take the thread and then wrap behind that. So we're gonna go ahead and cut off the tinsel, the excess tinsel. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get some hen cape, some hackle. I really like some brown hen cape. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for a piece of this that's not very big, that will give us a good little presentation right around here. We don't want too much, we don't want too much drag to cause it to not give a good presentation or to get down in the place that we want it to get down to. So we want to put on just enough to give it a little bit of a, I guess a little bit of a, like a mane. I don't know what you call it. I forget names of stuff. So this is a good, for size 16, this is pretty good. You can get designated pieces of hackle for certain sizes. It just gets really pricey. I just went ahead and bought me a whole cape and then just start go up and down because I can use it for a whole bunch of stuff. So you take it. I like to flare out the fibers before I start. Okay, and then I'm going to tie it down a couple times and chop off the end. Now, when I go around, okay, nothing fancy, because what we're going to do is we're going to use some dubbing to push this back, all right? I usually go around 2 or 3 times. Again, I just want to have a good little hackle presentation, okay? And once I get around a few times, I take this, all right? When I take it, I go ahead, wrap around the end of this, all right? And I clip it. Now be careful not to clip the hackle that's on it, okay? So, what you want to do after you got all this taken care of, is the last thing, and then we're going to whip finish, okay? You're going to take some Ice Dub UV Pink. Again, you can do a whole bunch of different things with this. This is just what I prefer. It's the traditional. In fact, there's like a blue dart, a purple dart, an orange. Like you can go all over the place and do a whole bunch of stuff with this, okay? You don't need that much. Honestly, like the amount of, you probably only need like that much, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap this around and we're gonna push back the hackle, okay? Now, once we get to this, okay, we start to have this nice little like circumference or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. If you know what it is, put it in the comments. I don't know what you would call that. But once you get to that, you want to take your whip finish tool. And you can do it really fast and whatnot. I just like to, whenever I'm doing something with like some pieces and whatnot that I want to set a certain way, I'm just a little slow about it. It's better be slow and careful. I mean, I could like whip and then be done, but let me make sure. So, size 16 red dart. These are fantastic warm water flies. I love them for anywhere from mid-spring all the way to mid-fall. I love it. I don't know what it might do in other areas. I've only fished this in like Southwest Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina area. But for me, that's when it works the best, and I love it. So I hope y'all enjoy this. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, please. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. And as always, guys, tight lines and blessings. Hopefully this works for you. Go out there and catch some fish. See you later.